Hi, Lori Cook. Hello, hello. Carlitos in Georgia. Yeah, we talked about Georgia in REM sales, I think on like Tuesday this week, which is awesome. Oscar says in Maryland, do they have a website for tax? So Maryland is tax lien. And if you type in like Maryland over the counter tax liens, that's going to get you going. But also going back and watching our last few videos for over the counter, we do talk about that. Yeah, so for these over-the-counter tax liens, you don't actually have to register, you just deal with the county directly. See, before I could jump into lien investing, they changed everything. Now I don't know what's what anymore. I need a deep dive for Maricopa County. You know what? There's a lot of interest for Maricopa County. So we will take the feedback and we will do it. Lamont, how do I get membership? All you have to do is book a free call. A lot of what we do is based on your needs and what you are interested in and how we can help you achieve your goals. And so that's going to be catered directly to you. And so the best way is to get onto a phone call. We will have a link below on how to do that. Um, what if I can't? What if I can't get access to my funds till the end of September? Yeah, that's no problem, Wendy. The other thing too is that it's like you want to be able to practice this. You want to be able to have like a couple mock auctions, you could say, before you do this for real. So we do live auction training, each month. And there's been a lot of times that I've really had to like push people. It's like, yeah, this is your property right now. And they're like, this is my property. It's like, yeah, this is your property. And it's like, hey, bid, get your hand up. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Okay, okay. And so there's a lot of nerve sometimes. And so if you're able to go through the process a few times before you actually are ready to pull the trigger on something, it can be really helpful. The other thing too is that you don't want your first time attending the auction to be the first, like you don't want the first time that you're ready to spend money at an auction. You don't want that to be your first time at an auction, if you know what I mean. And so you want to be able to get a couple of reps. And there's online auctions every single month. Realauction.com. They've got a lot of Texas online auctions, and so you could just do a mock auction. You could look at a couple pieces of land and come up with a bit of a max bid, you could say. And yeah, the other thing too is that think about this. If you're just waiting until you have money and then you go to an auction that has intense competition and you can't really get deals, you would rather know about that in advance, right? So that once you do have capital, once money does free up, you know where to capitalize on the moment and where to go. Because there are a lot of auctions that are insane, where it's like nobody is making money here. I don't understand what's happening. It's probably like money laundering. You know, those auctions that accept cash. It's just like, what? It's a real thing. So you want to be in places where you can get a good deal. Okay, Mina, hi, new from Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, awesome. Texas is a great market. There's a lot going on in Texas. It's a redeemable tax deed state, which means you get the property at the auction, but the owner does have 6 months to buy it back from you with a 25% interest penalty. So if they can't afford to pay the taxes, most likely they can't afford to pay you what you pay at the auction plus 25% interest penalty. So you do have all of the rights to the property. They just have the right to redeem. Yeah, Texas is a great state. There's so much going on in Texas. Lori says over the counter where to start. So earlier in the video, we did highlight the vault, vault.taxlienschool.com. So that's a great place to check out. Go back to the start of this video, watch that, and that's going to show you where to start. Oh, nice. Mohammed, I will be joining your mentorship program. I'm interested in Philadelphia and Houston deed sale. Yeah, so just all you have to do is book a call. We have people that are available. I got to tell you, we're just trying to squeeze this one in today. Dustin's on the road. He is at a wedding and he fired this thing up. And I got a couple calls here that I've got a jet for. But yeah, we wanted to be consistent. And so the thing is that we did highlight some incredible opportunities here, but it's not going to make you money consuming information. You got to take action. And so we're here to help you take action, but everything you need is also here as well, to get started. And so Dustin always talks about how he ran into this guy named Bob, and Bob like literally took Dustin's hand and raised it at an auction and helped him get into it because there is a lot of unknowns in the tax lien tax deed space. Think about it. There's no middleman. The county just says, here, buy these properties. And when you ask them questions, a lot of times they'll just say, we don't give legal advice. Buyer beware, do your own due diligence. I can't actually say anything about it. Sometimes they are helpful, but you kind of got to act like your own, real estate agent, figuring out how much property is worth, a contractor figuring out how much to quote rehab for, Not that you are going to rehab the property, but you've got to be able to know, how much you can pay for a property uh, based on the rehab, right? And then you kind of got to act like your own real estate attorney, doing a title search, making sure that there's no red flags, things like that. So there definitely are a lot of moving pieces. I got to tell you though that it can be quite daunting getting into it. So that's why in the ABCs of tax lien deed investing, this is what we give for free. We've kind of taken all the information and put it into this accessible format. So this is a great way to get started. But yeah, for hand holding, live auction training, coaching, things like that, book a call with us. We pride ourselves on giving the most information out there for free. I can't think of anybody else in this space that does that. So that's what we pride ourselves on. And we'll be back on Tuesday. So thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out. And glad that we got through all the questions. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that regular stuff about YouTube. And we'll see you next week. All right, take care, everybody. Peace.